Valentine's Day, for many of us, is a time for love, connection, and all of that cute stuff. But for others, it's a reminder of the things that are missing in life. Partner, affection, or maybe just a sense of belonging. You're in a relationship, you're single, or maybe you just feel disconnected from the world. It's easy to feel a day like Valentine's is loaded with expectations that we might not be able to meet. But what if I told you on this day, if we could shift our focus not on what we think we're missing, but on what we already have? We shifted our mind on not what everyone else is doing, but what we could start doing for ourselves at this point in our life. Would that be worth shifting our focus and mind towards? Maybe this episode is definitely worth listening to. But welcome to another episode of the Unfltered Podcast. I'm Pri, and on today's episode, we're going to be looking at embracing that self-love and that connection towards yourself on a day like Valentine's Day, regardless of your situation and regardless of your relationship status. Whether you're celebrating with someone special or if you're embracing your own company this year, we're diving into that self-love, that gratitude and connection on how we can transform how we experience a day like this and every other day for that matter. But before I go any further, a few podcast house rules. If you are a fan of the Unfiltered Podcast and my unfiltered nature, and you like the unfiltered conversations I bring to this platform, could I ask you politely to hit that subscribe button? It's funny, the analytics on other platforms tell me that the podcast clips and the short form content clips actually are doing quite well. I'm getting DMs telling me they really love the episodes, they love the tackling topics. They're really loving the emphasis in regards to like my questions, in regards to the guests that come on stage, and my unfilteredness that I just bring out on a regular basis. But there's a smaller population of those individuals, those people who are actually subscribed and tuning into their episodes every week, which makes me think, well, why wouldn't you just subscribe to wherever it is that you're listening to this on and staying tuned in regards to whatever the next episode is going to be. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please, if you could, it'd mean a lot. Anyway, back to the episode. Right, so I'm not going to just jump in and talk about Valentine's Day straight from single people's perspectives. I want to start this conversation in regards to the partners and people that are in marriages, relationships, and fuck it, in situationships as well. I want to talk about how you can navigate a day like Valentine's without all of the drama that comes up that we see plastered everywhere in front of our faces, from the cute hearts to flowers, roses, cards, and blah. See, in my personal opinion, there is this grand spectacle, this show that sometimes people feel they need to put on when it comes to Valentine's Day. Like I mentioned, flowers, in this case, roses, cards, chocolates, gifts, social media, perfect moments, expensive dinners, champagne, naughty outfits, different makeup, beautiful dress, blazer and shirt, looking fresh. And let's not forget to capture all of this stuff on our stories right now and just show the world how happy and woo we are. I'm being completely honest with you, with conversations I'm having with people, half this shit is quite expensive. And on a day like Valentine's, everything is bloody inflated. So you don't need to pull out all the stops. It doesn't need to be like this. So I'm going to challenge you to think a bit differently, because is love all about the money you spend on your partner? Or is it about the perfect romantic gesture? For those of you in marriages, relationships, all those situationships, is love all about going over the top on these special moments? Or is it about the everyday care, respect, and gratitude we show to one another? So maybe, just maybe, for Valentine's Day this year, we try something a little bit different. And I'm going to challenge you. Maybe this year on Valentine's, you take a moment to appreciate your partner. Maybe you come along with a small, thoughtful gesture. Maybe something like a handwritten note or a quiet evening together. Get the Uber Eats, the Deliveroo, the Just Eat all on lock. Get your perfect takeaway in. Stick on a rom-com. Light up a few candles. Get cozy and cuddly and snuggle up with one another. And just laugh, be cute, and enjoy each other's company. See, my point I'm trying to say is that you don't need a fancy dinner or some sort of activity out there just to express that you love one another. I'd like you to think about, in regards to your relationship, what makes it special? Like, reflect on those moments together. What are those highlights? What were those great times? What felt amazing that you did together? But also, like, reflect on the bad times as well, and how you managed to power through, how you managed to elevate each other and grow with one another. I know relationships thrive when we take time to be present and be grateful towards one another. And I also know they thrive when we're not trying to be like the best perfect goddamn relationship out there. And like, all of these small gestures can be expanded so many different areas. It doesn't necessarily have to be dinner, rom-com, film, takeaway, handwritten notes. It could be something a little bit more out there. but also so close to home. So let's think about it. Maybe your partner's been in a bit of pain recently. Maybe a massage, a head massage, a shoulder massage, a back massage. Maybe you book a massage for the two of you. Have they been talking about a book recently they want to buy, or a podcast, or maybe you could do something thoughtful around that area. Possibly they mentioned a food or a cuisine that they've been craving. How nice would it be if that just turned up at your doorstep? Like, it goes so much more further when you put a little bit of thought into it, and it doesn't need to be so expansive and expensive. I remember this one time, and I can't remember if it was Valentine's or anniversary, so I'm a bit bad on this front. My ex must have understood that, well, my ex understood the assignment, despite the fact there was no assignment. I got back into Pokemon and watching it, going through like all of the old episodes, and I just had like a weird Pokemon phase going on for me. And because I had this fascination around Pokemon, she went out of her way to create paper mache balls of Pokeballs, essentially. So there were some fat Pokeballs, all paper mache, painted in red and white, and she scattered them around everywhere. And it was a bit like a scavenger hunt. And that actually hit home a little bit. It was actually quite nice. Like the thoughtful gesture, the time it would have taken to actually create all of them, to pop the balloons that then create the size, and they weren't all circular, some were a bit eggy, but it was just the thought. And I was taken aback by it. It was really, really nice. It was a super, super thoughtful gesture, and I was super appreciative. And that's just like one example of what like you possibly could do in these scenarios. There's something that your partner really wants. Maybe they've mentioned sip and paint. Why don't you bring that home or book the next sip and paint available? Maybe they're a fan of R&B music. Maybe you go book the next R&B brunch that's available, or bring R&B vibes home. If they're a football fan and they want to be watching the football over the weekend, might be a good shout possibly to just like decorate the house in a football kind of vibe. I don't know. Small things like this just go such a long way. And here's a little tip. If you've been feeling the pressure to make Valentine's Day special, trying to make it like super, super perfect, just take a moment to breathe. Let go of the idea of everything has to be flawless. Like the real love within your relationship right now comes from the messiness, comes from the imperfections, comes from the last minute decisions at times, and when things have gone wrong but you still find a way of making it work. You've laughed, you've giggled, it's just been banterous. Like those kind of moments are a hallmark of your relationship. I want you to take some time out and ask yourself the question, what is it that you love most about your partner? What little moments have you shared together that have brought you closer? And I want you to use that as a reminder of something. You don't need to have a special day like Valentine's Day to showcase that kind of love, emotion, vulnerability, cuteness. But if you haven't had a chance to do that in a while, maybe you take today as an opportunity to just showcase that you really care, you appreciate them highly, and you brought something to the table just to say thank you. All right. Now on to my singletons, or for people who classify themselves as feeling alone. I know Valentine's Day can be tough when you're not in a romantic relationship. I can appreciate it if you've just broken up, if you've been single for a while, maybe your partner's no longer here with us. And that feeling of being alone, or feeling lonely, feeling empty, it can be quite vibrant within you, and not in a positive way. I can appreciate that. And on a day like Valentine's Day, maybe you're seeing everyone celebrate by getting flowers, roses, again, chocolates, sweets, going out, fancy places, etc., etc. And you just feeling, why not me? Or I'd love to have a bit of that. Consuming yourself with all of this stuff right now can make you feel not complete. And I just wanted to use this as a reminder right now to put it out there. Just because you're single, or just because your cards have been dealt a certain way and you're alone right now, that does not mean you are incomplete. So don't you dare be thinking this way. In fact, this might be the best time for you to hone in and focus on the one relationship you should be spending all of your time and energy into. And that's the one with yourself. So when I talk to people about like self-love, it's like this buzzword or this phrase that gets thrown out there. But I wanted to use this moment right now to act as a reminder that it's not just a buzzword and it's not just a phrase. It's fucking important. It's an essential practice to apply to your life every day. Self-love affects how you show up for others, your friends, your family, for yourself, for your work colleagues, for your peers. Self-love affects how you turn up to challenges, how you respond back to adversity, and most importantly right now, self-love affects how you choose to be loved, how you allow yourself to be loved. And when it comes to like self-love, the truth is you can't pour from an empty cup. I always tell my clients right now, when it comes to self-love, we need to work on your self-love right now, if you've got this limiting belief where you don't feel like you're good enough or not worthy enough, we need to try and find a way of rewiring that mindset that makes you feel that way. Start filling up your cup of self-love. And if you want to attract that kind of love that you desire, that romantic, cute stuff you see everywhere, okay. Well, first of all, you need to kind of nurture that kind of love within yourself. So you've got to start being cute towards you, right? So how do we do that? First, stop looking at yourself through this lens that I'm single and I'm alone. That if it's on right, however you want to do it, if it's on right now, take that shit off, throw it away. I want you to start seeing yourself as whole, worthy, and enough. Best believe, your boy has been single for a hot minute, okay? I think I've had one Valentine's in the space of 6-7 years where I've spent that day with someone else. So I'm in the trenches with you. It can feel quite lonely at times, and it has. How you reshape your mind and be a bit more comfortable and choose to put yourself first in these scenarios is a little transition. But with those baby steps and being able to apply yourself more consistently throughout the year, days like Valentine's now just become a little bit more easy. See, now Valentine's is the perfect opportunity to show yourself how you possibly would give that love to others if you're alone right now. How can you do this? Well, just think about it. How would you treat a partner if you had the opportunity to? Maybe go out for a nice meal, maybe getting a nice takeaway. Treat yourself to a nice meal. Treat yourself to a nice takeaway. Maybe it's doing a favorite activity. Maybe you should go do your favorite activity. Or maybe you would reflect with one another. Maybe it's time to reflect with yourself. You deserve the same tenderness you'd show to a loved one. Maybe it's time to do it for yourself. Let's go extreme. Write yourself a love letter. Tell yourself everything there is that you love about you. Spend some time doing things that light you up, fill you with joy. And remind yourself, most importantly, being single does not equate to being less than others. You are whole, just as you are. So for context, let me tell you what I'm going to be doing Valentine's Day this year. And some of it is weather dependent, obviously, but I'll be golfing hard. And Valentine's Day falls on a Friday, so it'll be over the weekend. I'll be golfing hard. I'm going to get myself a Pokemon gift. I'm going to order something for myself. Don't know what, but I'm going to order something for myself Pokemon related. Don't judge me. And there's this one thing I've been putting off myself from doing this year, and that's getting myself a nice, calm, relaxing massage. Something where it's not deep tissue, but something a bit more just relaxing and unwinding. So I'll be doing that for myself this year. And if there's a chance to get in a spa and sauna included in it, I'll definitely be doing that. So maybe those are things that you could start thinking of. Best believe if I had a partner right now, these are things that I'd be suggesting for me and her to do. Maybe I tune in to watch a rom-com and stick on something with Channing Tatum in it. He does a couple of decent rom-coms. We can go maybe Dear John's a bit too much. I'm feeling I think a man could be quite funny just to watch on Valentine's Day. Think about it. What things would you do with your partner if you had one? Why not just do that for yourself? Going off tangent, I always get my mum and my next door neighbour flowers and roses. I'm going to stick to that tradition. But what is it that you could be doing for others too? It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic relationships. Could you get something for someone else too? There are a number of different endless examples you could be applying right now. Maybe you book yourself in for a class, a yoga class, a Pilates class. Go get your favorite dessert in. Maybe get your hair, your nails, your beard done. Go for a massage like I mentioned, shopping. Or, this is a shout, because I've been going like an Energizer bunny, fully drained every week, just going in regards to work and content. But maybe you give yourself a chance just to sleep and rest. It's not a bad shout, right? Like I said, the list is endless. So I've mentioned loneliness. And so I kind of want to try and bring it back to this feeling of being alone and loneliness. And I kind of wanted to hone back into combating it. Because the feeling does suck when loneliness creeps in. Whether you're single, if something's happened and you're alone, or maybe you're stuck in a relationship where you feel alone. I can appreciate this feeling sucks. And Valentine's Day can amplify those feelings. And when you see others celebrating and everyone else looking like they're doing cute stuff, it can suck. It can feel like a slap in the face, feel very empty and hollow. I get it. But here's something I wanted to just throw out to you. Loneliness is not a permanent state. It's a feeling. And like all feelings, it can shift if we allow ourselves to connect with others and with ourselves. We need to recognize that it's okay to feel alone. It's okay to feel lonely. Acknowledge it. There is no shame in feeling this way. Just don't let it consume you. Instead, try and shift your focus. Reach out to someone, whether it's a friend, a family member, or even someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Maybe send them a text, a phone, a voice note, or try this new thing on WhatsApp, a video note, just to break out of this feeling of feeling isolated. You can also think of what brings you joy. Music, volunteering, things in social settings, when we engage in those kind of activities, we feel quite alive. We don't feel alone. And it's like putting ourselves in those surroundings that can alleviate the feeling of being alone. And I just kind of wanted to remind you that connection doesn't necessarily mean having to be romantic. It could be with a friend, it could be with a pet, or it could just be within the community around you. Also, we say it so often, don't let social media be a reminder of your situation, okay? Social media, 9 times out of 10, just portrays a highlight reel. And we're only seeing a segment of people's lives. So don't get yourself consumed into all of this cute stuff you might see around this time of the year. Instead of trying to compare your reality to someone else's, try and focus on the positive aspects of your life, no matter how small they are. Focus in on you. And I kind of want to just leave it there. Valentines can play a part for a number of people, for a number of reasons. In a good way, it can feel quite great. If you're in a place where your mindset's in the right place, regardless of your status, it can feel quite great. I can also appreciate, regardless of your status, it can feel quite shit too. And like, to wrap up this episode, I just wanted to highlight that a day like Valentine's Day doesn't define your worth. Just remember, it's a day like any other day. And what truly matters, like what really matters, is how we show up for ourselves and how we show up for others every single day. Valentine's Day is an opportunity to showcase love, whether it's with someone or to yourself. Be gentle with your heart. Embrace the love that surrounds you. Be kind to yourself. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this episode has added some value. Kind of wanted to go off tangent and just talk about Valentine's Day and try and throw out a special, just because I can appreciate with the people that I work with in my unfiltered coaching space that it can feel a bit lonely, regardless of your status. And I kind of wanted to be a voice for the people here and just remind you that there are so many things you could be doing for yourself right now if you are feeling alone. And there are so many things you could be doing if you're in a relationship right now that doesn't need to measure up to what you see someone else doing on social media. With that being said, it's been your boy Pri. Just wanted to ask you lot again, if you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you've liked this video, please share a like, show some love, and also share it with someone who you feel might find this beneficial. Again, it's your boy Pri. I'm signing out. I'll catch you lot on the next episode of the Unfltered Podcast. Peace.